Did you know that you can earn scholarship money while playing basketball?
We're going to find out how on this edition of Gen Y.
On today's show, doing good, earning scholarship money, and playing basketball. It all happens at the Surrey Firefighters Goodwill Basketball Classic.
And the soulful sounds of a local singer, Ava Carich.
It's a cold and it's a broken hallelujah.
Also,
whether it's religion or culture or background or size or color or age, it doesn't matter. We're all still the same individuals.
how a police officer is on a personal mission to end bullying.
See all this and more right now on Generation Y.
Hi, and welcome to Gen Y, a show for youth by youth. I'm Ben.
And I'm Aidan, and today we will be bringing you a bunch of great stories for teens.
Up first, we'll be taking you to a basketball tournament Surrey Firefighters have been organizing since 2001.
Basketball, that's easy.
This is a tournament for all the senior girls teams in Surrey. We invite everyone if they want to attend, and it's a tournament that shows goodwill. We want to make sure that everyone on the team plays. That's one of our criteria to come and play in the tournament. And then the other major aspect of it is we give out scholarships to different girls that apply before the tournament begins.
These girls are definitely passionate about their sport, and this tournament really brings the team together.
I helped out run the tournament, I guess, and whenever they had little things going on in the court, I went up and participated. So
our team did a bottle and clothing drive. It was partially as a fundraiser for our Hawaii trip, but we also gave the clothing to the Salvation Army. And our Interact Club does all sorts of stuff for other countries, like developing countries, and they've given back to like the soup kitchen. Our school did toy and food drive for the Cloverdale Christmas Bureau. So that was a big one. We raised a lot of food and money for families in need at Christmas time.
After a dozen years of hosting Surrey's premier female high school sports event, the Surrey Firefighters are still amazed by the kids who play for the annual Goodwill Basketball Classic.
The tournament started 12 years ago with one of our other firefighters. There was the RCMP tournament that was for the boys, and so Todd Shearling wanted to start a tournament for the senior girls, so that's how it all came about.
I love how we play together, and it's really fun, and it's a lot of exercise, and it's just like a really good team sport, and we all play together. So.
And what qualities make a good basketball player?
I think leadership may be one of them, and just like loving to play with everyone and just having like the heart to play, I guess.
I love stats keeping. It's my favorite thing to do because it's all math and logic, but it really helps improve my team's game. I think it's great that so many people are involved, and the girls get a great opportunity to play, but we also get a chance to give back to the firefighters that do so much for us.
We've had a lot of fun here today at the Goodwill Tournament, and we've learned not only the importance of being a good athlete,
But also the importance of putting yourself out there and making a difference in your own community. Lindsey is such a show-off.
I'm Lindsey,
And I'm Helen,
signing up for Gen Y.
Thanks, guys. And thanks to the Surrey Firefighters, who are so awesome to volunteer their time for such a worthwhile event.
I agree, and I think it's great how the players get recognition for their efforts. Scholarships are awesome.
Definitely. Up next, we have a story on a program at Options that works with teens with autism.
Options is a non-profit agency, and we have 50 to 70 different programs at any one given time. We work with immigrant services, we have homeless shelters. In my program, we work with kids with developmental disabilities.
I would say maybe pick up on their interests. A lot of our kids really like to talk about the things that they're into, such as music and art and sports. And a lot of times they'll have really great trivia that you can talk about them with, and so it just gets the conversation started easier for them.
Before I knew I had autism, I wasn't in Special Olympics or any programs related to disabilities. I'm in lots of Special Olympic sports like skiing, floor hockey, softball, and tons of it.
What is autism?
Autism is a mental disability that affects your relationship with other people.
So, like, have you met lots of cool people here and made lots of friends?
Yeah.
And what kind of things do you do with them here?
Play games.
2, 3. So tell me what we're doing here.
Well, the object of the game is try to hit the ball and try to get cross home plate.
Swing.
Your controls are to just swing the bat, I guess. We get to go and, well, I like to play video games here, especially Wii Sports. And there you get to make a lot of friends here. So. I do play baseball and hockey.
If you see somebody that has autism or any kind of developmental disability, as a matter of fact, I just, just say hi. Sometimes you wonder, what should I say? Should I, I don't want to offend, or just say hi. Say hi, how are you? My name is, they have the same needs as a lot of us.
Misconceptions. I think that some people don't really get autism. They think like other people. We can't fit in or do anything social.
Just to try and learn more and be a little bit more patient, because every child or youth diagnosed with autism is going to have different needs. So patience and understanding, I think, is something that's really important.
We've learned that autism cannot be generalized.
Every individual we have met today is unique in their own way.
Just like you and I.
So next time you meet someone with autism, just say hi.
This is Lindsay.
And I'm Helen,
signing out for Gen Y.
Thanks, Lindsay and Helen, for all that useful information about autism. We still have so much more to learn about this topic.
Definitely. Stay tuned, because after the break, we're going to learn about a guy who was bullied as a kid, but is now an RCMP officer.
Also after the break, a young singer is hoping her sound gets heard.
And
people need help.
Do you think you are eating because of stress and not because you are hungry?
Gen Y will be right back.
I think the Sea to Sky Trail is very unique in the fact that people with different disabilities, different levels of disabilities, maybe not even disabilities, maybe someone with a stroller or someone who just has a hard time walking. Just having a trail of this extent, going through the wilderness the way that it does, we never get to see that anywhere, and we never get to use something like that anywhere. You don't have to be disabled, but just to be out with your friends, your family, it's so important and it's so rewarding.
We are kids. Wish kids.
10,000 kids.
We are brave.
We are strong.
We are fighters.
Some days are good, some days are bad.
Some of us make it.
Some of us don't.
My wish will make me strong.
The Children's Wish Foundation of Canada.
Does a wish make a difference?
You bet.
You bet.
Imagine the difference a wish can make.
Only 2 more needles till my wish.
Please give today.
Welcome back to Gen Y.
We are at Elgin Park Secondary in South Surrey, learning about all the teens that make this Lower Mainland great. But sometimes, us teens need help from the adults.
Thankfully, we have RCMP officer Tad Milmine. He was so moved by the tragic suicide of an Ontario teen that he made it his goal to spread the message of anti-bullying to as many people as he can.
I'm a police officer with the Surrey RCMP. My role would be general duty, so a first responder. If you were to call 911, then I'm the person that attends.
Over a year ago, 15-year-old Jamie Hubley took his life in Ontario. Across the country, an RCMP officer named Tad was inspired to take action.
The very first speaking visit that I did was in February of 2012. I went to see a gay-straight alliance in a local high school here in Surrey. The reason for that is I wanted to basically get a feel for what it's like to be in high school nowadays, and I wanted to to see firsthand what the youth are going through and what it's like and their courage and their strength. So I went and met with them, and they asked me two questions that stood out to me to this day. One is, how am I so lucky? And the other is, why am I so confident? And it just resonated with me in such a way that it got me thinking that I need to understand what they were saying and that they were looking up to me at that point. Then I recognized that if this group is looking for someone to look up to, maybe there's other youth. The website started out with a single page. I've never done anything to do with website production. I had to come up with a site name first, and I thought, you know, what do I want my message to be? And I was lucky enough that Bullying Ends Here was available. By going there, I think I've got absolutely everything about me, my experiences, where I've been, where I'm at, where I'm going, the successes of the website itself, you know, media clips to, you know, Jamie Hubley is my inspiration. Jamie Hubley is the reason why I do what I do today. He's an individual that October 14th of 2011, he took his own life at the age of 15. I'm reading this story of this youth that is everything that I only wish I could have been when I was in high school. You know, he was trying to spread the message of tolerance and acceptance and understanding, and I didn't do any of that. And that's what he was trying to do, but he couldn't do it anymore because he was getting bullied so badly to the extreme that's when I recognized that it's time for me to come forward and do whatever I can. So I'm taking Jamie's story, and my story starts exactly where his left off. My story starts with recognizing that he was trying to gather youth together in a classroom to have them be able to understand that, you know, in his case being gay, in my case being gay, that we're the same people, no matter what our uniqueness is in society, whether it's religion or culture or background, our size, our color, our age, it doesn't matter. We're all still the same individuals. That he wanted to break down those barriers, and no one came to see him that day. And that was the breaking point for Jamie. He was thinking he did everything he could, absolutely everything he could. So I gather people up in a classroom now. It's because I have the blessings of teachers and principals. They all come to that classroom, and that's when I share my story. That's when I share Jamie's story. And then that's when I say what my uniqueness is, and that's that I'm gay.
Tad was amazed by the overwhelming response to his talks.
I'm putting myself out there. I'm making it very clear what my uniqueness is, what my challenges in life with growing up are. I'm making sure that I don't forget how I felt and how to this day I still feel about certain things, and I convey that to the youth so that I make sure that when we're done our talk on whatever day that we're meeting, that they understand I know exactly how it feels to be where they are today. That they know when I leave that they have a brand new best friend, and that's me, and I will be there for them every step of the way, no matter where they live. And I want them to know that they're not alone. So they can just simply tell me how they're feeling, and whatever next step is, it's going to be their choice. And letting them know that that life is awesome, and I'm going to help them get to the stage of when they can see that for themselves.
Speaking out is the first step in combating bullying in our schools. I'd like to thank Tad Millmine for sharing his stories. You can find out more information on the website below. I'm Natasha for Gen Y.
Wow, we're so lucky to have someone like Tad on our side. For more information, you can visit his website at bullyingEndsHere.ca. Now I'm wondering something, Aidan. Why are we here in the music room?
Well, Ben, up next we visit Tapestry Music in White Rock to meet Ava, a young singer who also writes her own work.
Tapestry Music is in tune with many White Rock musicians, including Ava.
Tapestry is a small music store, locally owned business that serves the White Rock, South Surrey and Delta area. Ava is somebody who was a customer of ours. She first came in, or I first met her 2 years ago when she came in to buy an electric guitar.
And what are your thoughts about Ava? How is she unique?
Ava is a very special girl. When she came in a couple of years ago to get that guitar, I know my first impressions of her were fantastic. She paid for that guitar on her own. She had put it on layaway and came in every couple of weeks with money she'd saved up for babysitting, and she was very determined to get the guitar, but without any help. She seemed like a quiet girl, but sort of quietly confident about herself.
Tell us about your passion of singing.
My passion is just kind of exploring what you can do and just being who you want to be.
So how would you describe the music that you sing?
I think you would have to be more bluesy and kind of more of the older songs.
Ava let us know that the process of songwriting can be complex.
Mostly it's just finding chords that I like and just finding words that go along with it, with emotions that I have at the time. Mostly I have to be feeling like a lot of one emotion, like hate or like love or something, or like anguish.
Performing is something that Ava enjoys, but she still gets nervous.
I do get nervous if it's a large crowd, especially if I can't see anyone because you know they're there. A lot of the times I just kind of zone out when I'm singing, and I really try not to look at anyone because, well, it's a little bit scary when people make eye contact with you and won't look away. But it's fun when I'm up on stage.
How do you balance school and music?
It's pretty hard actually, balancing like school and music. I don't really know how I do it. I don't know, I just managed to do it somehow.
Right. Yeah, you just have to make sure you...
Ava did not just buy her guitar at Tapestry, she also gets her lessons here.
Sing along to it.
As her music teacher, James had many wonderful things to share about Ava.
She's very talented. She's very... she's still growing, she's still learning, she's developing her own vocal style, and I can't take any credit for that at all other than just encouraging her to do it. But as far as guitar playing goes, she's very adept, she's very quick at changing chords, she's expressive, and hopefully she'll go a long way with it.
Her sound is very unique. After listening to her song Player, she's very current and very relevant in today's pop music and perform.
Ava wrote the song Player based on a friend from school.
Well, I wrote it when I was 12. It was actually about one of my best guy friends at the time. He was kind of dating everyone, even though he was in grade 8. I just felt really angry at him, and he started kind of going after me a little bit, so I just didn't really want to deal with it anymore, so I just kind of let out my annoyance through the song. All the other girls think you deserve the exact same price. You broke the hearts and left them there to die. They cry.
And what message would you give to youth trying to pursue their passion with music?
I would tell them not to give up, go with their heart. If they believe that they can do anything, they can. If they believe they can be a star, then there's no reason to not try.
I've seen your fillet on the marble arch. Love is not a victory march. It's a cold and it's a broken hallelujah. Hallelujah. Hallelujah.
Today I had the chance to speak with the beautiful and talented star on the rise, Ava Carich. Her unique sound and confidence brought out my own musical side. I think I need a few lessons at Tapestry. This is Lindsey signing up for Gen Y.
It's not a cry you can hear at night. It's not somebody who has seen the light. It's a cold and it's a broken arrow.
Thank you, Lindsey, and we wish Ava all the best in her career.
Oh, and I think a record deal would definitely be in her future. Maybe even mine.
Good luck with that.
Anyway, after the break, we'll be showing you how you can send your ideas to us for the show.
Also after the break, eating even when you aren't hungry.
It affects their confidence level, and it really holds them back in life, which causes them a lot of pain.
Gen Y will be right back.
Today's generation of young people spend the least amount of time outside of any generation in human history. We need to have children out. We need to have people out in order to see the world around that allows us to live. I think something like the Sea to Sky Trail is the epitome of what we need to get people back out into the real world, to see nature as it can be, and something that we are a part of and that we must fight to protect.
Dear Children's Wish Foundation of Canada, thank you for sending me Rory the Lion. That means I'm going to get my wish, and that makes me really, really happy. Yesterday he was sad, but I told him it's okay, Rory, only 2 more needles until my wish. I will send you pictures from the top of the Rocky Mountains. Love, Emily.
Imagine the difference a wish can make. Click on childrenswish.ca and give today.
Welcome back to Gen Y. We're here at the cafeteria of Elgin Park Secondary. And Aidan, I'm feeling kind of hungry right now.
Well, that makes sense. We've been at school all day. But I know, sometimes I eat junk food even if I've already had dinner.
Well, up next, our reporter Helen will be talking with Counselor Tammy about the relationship between emotions and food.
And I just really like this image here. It just says that the number doesn't reflect somebody's worth or value. And I think some people do get into that situation, right? That number really reflects how they feel about themselves.
Emotional eating is a way to deal with life's difficult feelings.
Emotional eating is when people use food to cope with their emotions. So it could be positive emotions and it can also be negative emotions. When people don't know how to deal with a situation that they're unsatisfied with, then they'll turn to food to feel better, right? And oftentimes that situation is really difficult and they don't have the skills to deal with it. It's a problem because people don't feel comfortable in their skin, and that prevents them from having the types of relationships with people that they would like to have. And it affects their confidence level, and it really holds them back in life, which causes them a lot of pain.
Tammy shared her personal interest in the topic.
I also have had issues with emotional eating, and just through my own journey, I realized that there's some missing pieces to the puzzle and people need help. And just telling them to go on a diet and exercise isn't enough, and it's harmful to them. So they need some support in other ways that can help them move past these barriers.
Teens have lots of stress today that may contribute to emotional eating. It may be at home or at school.
Well, sometimes it's not feeling as popular as they want to or having that sense of belonging with their friends. Sometimes it's, those dynamics, those interpersonal dynamics that are very painful, right? Trying to fit in and trying to be liked, but it's really hard to be liked by everybody. But when you're young, you try to be liked, you try and do your very best, right? And so food can be used as a way of soothing that pain or those difficult situations.
We also learned that adults have a very important role in helping their child.
They need to be mindful of the way the kind of relationship they have with food. So if they're emotionally eating, then they're role modeling that behavior for their kids, right? So they have to learn to have a healthier relationship with food. And as well, when your kids are sad, then parents might want to find other ways to help their child through difficult times other than just using food, right? So helping them problem solve if they have the opportunity to do so, asking the right questions, right? What do you think you can do about this situation, and what have you tried so far, and what's working, and what do you think would be the next best step? So just asking their child questions that will help them problem solve in a healthy manner. And sometimes it's just listening. Like sometimes parents just need to be there with their kids, right? It's not necessarily giving them the right advice, but just saying, it's okay, you'll get through it, and it's difficult, but it's, this is a part of your teen years or part of your growing up years.
Tammy shared some simple ideas on how to cope with emotional eating.
People can lower their stress levels, so finding anything that can bring the stress level down. So it could be going for a walk, talking to friends, finding anything enjoyable in life. Taking care of yourself, so exercising is a really important thing too, and lowering stress, and also just feeling good in your body. It makes people feel like they want to take care of themselves differently as well.
They definitely make you hungry, but I wouldn't say that I would go out and... The quiz Tammy did with me definitely opened up my eyes to my level of emotional eating.
And do you eat when there's nothing else to do?
Oh, for sure. Yeah. Whenever I'm bored, I'll open the fridge and there's nothing in there, so I'll close it, and then I'll go back 5 minutes later and there's still nothing there, but...
I think that's a really common one that many people do, right?
I've learned that emotional eating is something that everyone does once in a while, but if you're struggling with it and it's causing pain in your life, then don't be afraid to reach out. For more resources and contact information, please check out Tammy's website. This is Helen signing out for Gen Y.
Well, that's a wrap for this edition of Gen Y. We welcome your feedback.
Yes, and if you have any ideas for the show, email us at the address below.
And of course, you can check out our YouTube channel for past shows. For Gen Y, I'm Ben.
And I'm Aidan.
Thanks for watching.
Gen Y is brought to you by Options Community Services.
Thanks for watching. Stay classy. San Diego!